some of my mentors. I'm grateful. They're millionaires and billionaires, and I'm not going to disclose names for tax purposes. Do you have more stamps on your wrist because you want to go party, or do you actually have stamps on your passport? Do you spend more money on weed, or do you save that money you spend on weed and go buy you a plane ticket? It doesn't cost a lot to travel. You can fly to Vegas for $70, but you've never looked. You've never checked. You've never searched. Seek and you'll find. You got to go looking for success. It's there.
Jason, welcome to the show.
Bradley, man, appreciate you having me. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing amazing, man. I'm amazing. I'm blessed. I'm excited. Whatever else you need.
All the great things. So, your mentor was Bob Proctor. How did that come about?
Yeah, man. I was very fortunate to work with Bob Proctor. I guess I'll show you kind of like a photo for your viewers. But I was very fortunate when I was 18 years old to work with Bob and be around him, and that's really a long story, man. When I was 18 years old, my brother was the one that put me into personal growth, and I always say he gave me the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I think I took it from him, and that was kind of the eye opener for me, man. And what it did, it put me on a polarity to where I would attract whatever else is on that frequency. And so, Bob came about because some of the people that my brother was working with were being mentored by Bob Proctor and his wife Linda, and I was fortunate enough to meet those gentlemen. One of them's name was Darren Gibson, and another one's name is Brad Alcazan, and I met both of them when I was 18, 19, and they were working with Bob very closely. And so me, I'm always about, who's your leader, who's your mentor. And so I was just in, and I always say this, man, I was in the right place at the right time, but it's not just good enough just to be there. You have to be aware that you're at the right place at the right time. And, Bob gave us a call, long story how that happened. And he said, hey, I want you guys to work with my wife, Linda. So I became very close with his wife first. And when you get the wife, you get the husband. And so, Linda invited me to the house one day, and Bob didn't have a seminar to attend to or a paradigm shift. So he was there, and, it's history from there, man. That's the day I got his phone number, and, fortunate enough to be in his presence and be a student of what he taught all of us, And if you don't know who Bob Proctor is and you're watching this, look him up. He's America's greatest prosperity teacher while he was alive. And, he took the philosophies of Think and Grow Rich and put them in a way to where anybody could understand them. So, yeah, Bradley, that's what started for me, man. And that's how I got into my first business. That's how I was blessed to learn the ability to sell and network and grow a business. So being around them was a true blessing, and I'm grateful for it.
Right. What would you say the most valuable lessons and insights that you took from working with him?
Yeah, I'll tell you this, man. When I got around them, the biggest benefit that I had working with them was their friends, because there's a lot of people that were in that circle, but the biggest name was Bob. So, when I say Bob Proctor, definitely worked with him for sure. But there are so many people around that circle. So I got a big benefit of working with a lot of people that were 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners, successful entrepreneurs, just not as big of a name. But from Bob specifically, I remember we were having dinner one day, and I was at his house, and he was sitting to the left of me, and it's actually one of the photos on my Instagram. So if you guys want to check me out on Instagram, my title should be there on the page. But I remember he was eating dinner, and we had steak and potatoes, and I mean, they were so rich, man. Their dogs ate the same thing we ate. So it was pretty cool. I mean, they fixed a plate for the dog, the steak and potatoes for the dog. But when I was sitting next to him, I couldn't eat because, I'm 21. I'm at America's greatest prosperity teacher's house. Like, this is a guy that would he wouldn't hesitate to charge you $250,000 just for him to mentor you for 6 months. So I'm sitting there, and I'm in the seat that every single person that studies him wants to be in. So imagine that. I'm in that seat at their house, right next to him. And I couldn't eat, so I was just like a kid in a candy shop, just eyes wide open. And I remember he was eating food, and I was playing with my water. You know how when you get nervous, you start doing weird stuff. So I was playing with the water, and I remember I asked him, I said, "Hey, man, what was the biggest lesson your mentor ever taught you?" And one of his mentors was Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale started personal growth like this. We're on podcast today because of Earl Nightingale. So, we have audio recorded version of this stuff. And I remember he was eating. Then he looked at me, and I'm expecting some extravagant answer. I'm expecting some law of attraction and some stage talk, right? And he looks at me and he says, "Don't waste time." Went right back to eating. Now, at that time, I'm like, "That's it." I didn't say it, but that's it. Don't waste time, because I heard it before. And it wasn't spectacular. It wasn't a paradigm shift or a shock for me. Man, sometimes the greatest answers come in the simplest forms. So when he said don't waste time, the older I got, I'm now 26, so that was, what, 5 years ago? Every year I'm starting to understand that. Because time is the asset that you can spend, but you'll never get back. There's not cure for it. There's no reversal for it. I don't know if we figured that out yet, how to travel in time. And if you got that, call me, because I'm trying to figure something out. But there's not taking it back. You can't go back in history, as of yet. So time is the most valuable commodity we have. And when he said don't waste time, every day I wake up and I feel like I'm wasting time. Every day I wake up and I feel like, okay, we got to move faster. We got to do something bigger. We got to impact more lives. That's when I changed my goal from helping 100 people get to a 6-figure income. Now my goal is to help 1,000 people get to 1 million, because you want to think much bigger, much sooner. So I would say don't waste time is one of them. So many, man. I have to re-jog my memory. Success is simple, just not easy. It's very simple. The habits of success don't change that much. I mean, you look at the books like Think and Grow Rich. If success was so different, then they would have made, like, Think and Grow Rich was made in 1912 or 1930, whatever it is. So if it was so different and success was always changing, then they would have made a new Think and Grow Rich for 2023. But we're still using matter of fact, we're still using the same principles from the Bible. So, and that was God knows how long ago, right? Or the Quran, or the Torah, whatever old books there are. So success is simple, it's just not easy. And that would be another thing, man. And build multiple sources of income. Build wealth. Build a financial wall of money that flows to you, because the biggest issues we have in this world all revolve around money. Either it's the lack of, either it's the how we're making it, either it's, can we afford this? How are we going to get here? How are we going to do this? So build wealth. If you are listening to this, find a good side of money and work on building financial independence. That's what we talked about, Bradley, and what you're doing right now with one of the platforms is you're building another stream of wealth, which will eventually be another wall around your family.
What general advice do you usually give to people when you tell them about the multiple sources of income? For somebody who just either works a job now and has one job, one source of income, or is going to have that in the near future, what do you tell them that their options are for trying to build the multiple sources?
I don't really try to tell them options. I just try to advise or share what I've seen. Because I can't tell you anything I haven't done, man. So I can't tell you get into real estate. I haven't done it yet. I can't tell you to start up a traditional business. I never did that. I have mentors that are doing it, and they're doing it on elite levels. Some of my mentors, I'm grateful. They're millionaires and billionaires, and I'm not going to disclose names for tax purposes. But man, I would tell people, first off, you got to find a model and follow it. You got to find a person or something to follow that model. I was trained when I was 18 years old that there's 3 types of money, or 3 ways of making money. The first one is called Money One, first strategy of money. And that's what 96% of the world does, which is trade time for money. We know how challenging that can be. We know how detrimental, and we know there's no way you're going to get ahead in that strategy, because when you clock in, the money starts, you clock out, the money stops. So in order for you to get paid, you got to be clocked in, and you can't work 26 hours. You only got 24. So that strategy has never worked. It was never put in place to make you wealthy. Look at your family, look at your history, look at your neighbors. You know, they get the same check, same bills when you work at 9 to 5. The second strategy of money is called trading money for money, like investing, where right now, Bradley, you're learning how to invest, where you're taking money, putting it into an outlet to produce more income. That could be real estate investing. It could be Forex investing. It could be putting your money, whatever it is, you know, flipping a car. I don't know, where you have to start off with a good sum of money to be able to make more money from that. And only 3% of the world is in that strategy. Why? Because only 3% of the world has access to the money. Very simple. It works, but it's a challenge because you got to have money to get into it, right? So my biggest thing where I started was in an outlet called, I look at it like residual income, passive income streams, little side hustles. My first business was network marketing. You know, that's where I got my start. That's where I could start with a cheap price and then build something up and grow it as if I invested $1 million. And I just think people need to find the right mentors. You know, I share this on a lot of the mindset calls, and you're aware, Brad, because you've been on them. And I always say, when you're looking into business, you want to find 3 things and find them in this order. If you get this order backwards, that's how people end up in jail, prison, dead, struggling, and never getting ahead, because they get these 3 backwards. You want to find the who, the what, and then the can I. What's the who? Who's involved? Listen, if business was all about products, if making money was all about products, then McDonald's would have been out of business a long time ago. But the reason why each McDonald's produces $1 billion and there's 37,000 locations is because of the leadership, not the product. So find the who, then the what. What are we selling? The who will lead you to the right what. That's what it did for me. So when people say, Jason, why'd you get into network marketing? Well, let me just play this for you. Hold on. This is audio on my phone from Bob. We were in the car. And I'm not trying to sell y'all on network marketing. You don't have to do it. But I always share this with people because the reason why I do what I do is because I've been told to.
Every now and then something will happen. We're starting over. What you do? I'm being at work for. And it makes sense. It's very time it's easier to think. For that work to tell them. It was, I really believe network marketing is, it's just really gone into itself. It has to be. There begins with no research and one. And multiple sources of income.
So that's where I got my start for that reason. The who told me about the what, you know? And then it branches out, man. So my advice for young people is, first off, start where you are. You don't need $1 bazillion to make $1 bazillion. You need the right vehicle. You need something that can get you from A to B. For me, it happened to be that business that got me now into different investments, now into the digital game of money, and opening up so many more doors. So I think you just need to, first off, and this is before any of this, Bradley, you have to be open-minded. You have to be. You can't be broke and be skeptical at the same time. You can't have a big ego and a small bank account. You can't know it all but have nothing. And you can't afford to be pessimistic. You can't take pessimism to the bank. Try paying your bills with a negative mindset. It just won't work. So first off, before you make any money outside of your job, you have to be looking for something. You have to be. No one's going to put anything in front of you, say, hey, here's $1 million business. No, you got to be searching for it. Seeking, you'll find. Good advice. So those of you that are willing to build wealth, first off, open up your mindset. Know that you're not going to get in a job. Listen, if you were to earn more money in your job than the person that's paying you, that means your job's going out of business. So jobs legally have to buy you at wholesale and they sell you at retail, and they have to stay in business. So you're not going to build wealth in a job. You got to get on an outside street. That's where these side hustles are beautiful, man. Like, there's all these different things you can do. Amazon, you can get into trading. You can get, if you learn about cryptocurrency, if you learn about network marketing, affiliate marketing, all these different deals. I mean, you can make money doing anything nowadays. You just have to be willing to attempt something new. You can do Uber. I know people that do Uber that make six figures. They make 50,000 off of driving people. They sell candy in the back of the Uber. So, there's a million ways to make money, but you have to get creative and you have to get outside of a 9 to 5. So first you got to be open-minded, and then find the who, the what, the can I, and work on building multiple sources of income, and specifically residual. Our bills flow with Bradley, whether we want them to or not. That's how our bills come. Our bills come when we're sick, broke, anything. So our money needs to come the same way. And when people start learning how to make money the same way they pay their bills, and for every bill you have a source of income, watch what happens to your life.
Yeah, a quote that I've heard from a rapper I listen to is, life doesn't stop just because you're in a bad mood. It doesn't matter how you feel. The world doesn't really care if you're in a good mood today or in a bad mood. It's just going to keep going. And if you don't change, if you don't work on bettering yourself, then you're going to be left behind. I'm sure you agree with that.
Yep.
Do you think we're living in the Matrix?
I never even watched the movie The Matrix.
Really?
Never watched it, bro.
Wow. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out, because we always say this is The Matrix. I get the gist. I get the idea of it. But no, dude, I do believe that we're sleepwalking. It's like this, bro. Where I'm from, like we see things that aren't true every day. Okay, I give you this, Bradley. We live in America, all right? What would someone consider you, and what would they consider me on a color scheme, racial scheme? You would be considered white. I would be considered black, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is. Now, Bradley, you're not the color of my whiteboard, right?
Right.
No. Matter of fact, you're not white. If you ever saw a white person, you probably scream and run. Makes sense? And I'm not the color of my hat, am I? Or the color of my phone. If you ever saw a black person, you probably scream and run. But Bradley, in our society, we're trained to say you're white and I'm black. But that's not true, is it? But that's what we see. When I see you, I see he's white. When you see me, you see I'm black. But it's not true, but that's what we see. So my question to all of you is, what else every single day do you see around you that's not true? What else do you see every day that's not true? What else do you say is this, but it's really not that?
Right. There's so it's these pre-programmed beliefs that we have from when we're a child, from school, from sometimes our parents, our friends, whatever experiences we had, and
Yeah.
it's based off, I think, a lot off of division. There's a lot of stuff where I'm white, you're black. That means that we're different, but that's just like, sure, the color of our skin might be a little bit different, but what does that have to do with our mental, other parts of our physical, our personality, our subconscious, anything? It's essentially irrelevant. But
Yep.
we're taught that it isn't, and that it's very important.
Yeah, man. And so, yeah, bro, we're living in a society that's sleepwalking. And the only reason why, man, is because people don't. I'll tell you this. This is one of the biggest things that I've found out throughout the past 8 years of it on this journey. Because of the amount of people I spoke with, which I've talked to thousands of people one-on-one, building business, around the world. And I've summed it up to 6 areas we all want to improve, or we all want/need to improve. I call this the wheel of fortune. And if you're into business, if you can help people solve these 6 areas and give them a solution for improvement, then you'll never go out of business. It doesn't matter if it's a pandemic, it doesn't matter if it's a plandemic. You get what I'm saying? It don't matter what's going on, bro. If you can figure out how to help people find a solution in these 6 areas, you'll never go out of business. You'll become one of the wealthiest people to ever walk this earth. Number 1 is mindset. Wheel of Fortunes. 5 to 6 areas every single person wants/needs to improve. Mindset, environment, health, time freedom, money, and travel. You know why we're stuck in the matrix? Because we don't travel enough. You know why we believe we're the only creatures living in this whole entire universe? Because we never left Earth. And it's sad because even on Earth, people have their own little Earths they never leave. So they don't get to see things differently. I just came back from Dubai. Beautiful place. Dubai is on a different level. Matter of fact, I came back from the Czech Republic, Dubai, Mexico. I was everywhere. But specifically speaking, my trip to Dubai, when I got back home, I didn't see anything the same. It's like you have your car, then you go test drive a brand new clean car with a clean car smell, then you get back in your old car and you realize how dirty your old car really is. That's how it was for me when I came back from Dubai. I'm like, wow, we're really sleep. Dubai, there's no homelessness. If you're on the street, they'll pick you up and give you a job. In Dubai, they have a center. This is real. They have a center in the city that's called an ideas building, a building for ideas. Meaning, if you live in Dubai, Bradley, and you're just a pedestrian, just somebody there, you can walk into the building of ideas, give them an idea on how to improve the city, and if they like it, they'll implement it within 24 to 48 hours. My friend Ray was here from London, and he was staying with me for a little bit. His mom went to the idea center and said, hey, we need to have different ideas of transportation. Or I think it was like bike racks or something. She said the next week they started putting that into place. So by me traveling, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing the cleanest city in the world. There's no trash on the street, no homeless people on the street. Everybody has a job. Doesn't matter where you're from. Everybody drives a Lamborghini. That's very true for a good reason. Is the city is growing at a rapid pace. And I come back home to Indiana. There's homelessness in America. 96% of people in America are broke, less than $1,000 in their bank account. We live in the richest country in the world, but you can't like in Dubai, I would leave the door open. No one will walk. Matter of fact, if you left money in the taxi cab, they wouldn't stop until they find you to give it back. But I can walk down some streets here in Indiana. Matter of fact, I will never walk down these streets because I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. Most of my people that live here, this is normal for them. It used to be for me until I left this world. Now I'm awake. Ooh, blue pill, red pill, whatever it is. Took the red pill, blue pill. Now I'm like, whoa, y'all don't see this? That trash on the street? It's like your mom coming to your room. Hey, your room stinks. What are you talking about, Mom? Your room stinks. I can smell it downstairs. I don't smell anything. That's because you're sitting in your own stench, so you're nose blind. America, this world, most of the world's nose blind. So that's because they don't travel, man. They don't see the world. Like, Bradley, that's my biggest hope for you. I don't care what you do, bro, see this world. Travel. If you don't know where to go, come with me. Just get you a passport. Get you a passport, one of these things, and just come with me, man. See, I got the stamps from Emirates, from Dubai, from Delta. You guys got to listen. I heard a song that says, you get stamps from the club, I get stamps from customs. Check your priorities. Do you have more stamps on your wrist because you want to go party? Or do you actually have stamps on your passport? Do you spend more money on weed, or do you save that money you spend on weed and go buy you a plane ticket? It doesn't cost a lot to travel. You can fly to Vegas for $70, but you've never looked. You've never checked. You've never searched. Seek and you'll find. You got to go looking for success. It's there. I heard a quote, Bradley. It said, poverty is bold and ruthless. It will come waking you up in the middle of the night. On the other hand, wealth is shy and timid. It has to be attracted. Poverty is bold and ruthless. It will show up. Wealth is shy and timid. It must be attracted. That's why very few people have wealth, because they don't understand how it's brought into your life. But everybody got poverty because it's going to be that. You do nothing, guarantee you'll be broke. You do something, no guarantee you'll be rich. It has to be a certain way of doing something. And the ones that find that certain way, we call them the 3%. Myself, Bradley, yourself, the 3% that find a way, not make millions, the 3% that are on the track to make millions. Because I heard a quote that said direction is more important than speed. A lot of people are going nowhere fast. So, yeah, I believe in the Matrix. If that's any hint of, I believe in the concept. You know, we're tippy-toeing through life just to make it safely to death, man. And
Right.
how do you escape from a prison when you don't know you're in one?
Exactly. For the everyday person, for somebody who doesn't know where to start, and you know they don't have not much money, their mental health is going down the drain, bad relationships, the whole 9 yards. What do you think they should start with to try and make their life better?
Get you a pencil or a pen and start writing down the lifestyle you want. Matter of fact, I'll tell you how to do this. Get you 2 pieces of paper. I did this back in 2015 or 16. Label one paper A, label another paper B. On the sheet labeled A, I want you to write out the lifestyle you currently live in bullet points. From the smell of your breath to the car you drive. Currently. Your lifestyle, where you live, who you live with, how much you're earning, how much you got saved, what are all these different things, who are your friends, blah, blah, blah. That's paper A. Paper B, I want you to write out the lifestyle you want to have. The type of car you want to drive, the house you want to live in, the place you want to live, the friends you want to have, the freedom you want to experience, you know, whatever it may be, write that on B. With paper labeled A, I want you to get one of these things. Get you a bucket of water too, so you don't burn up your mama's house. Not you, Bradley, but everybody else. You one of these, burn paper labeled A. Burn it. It's symbolic. It means it's no longer here. Then the only thing I want you to do are 2 things. You can either read paper B every single day, or you can fold it up and put it away and come back to it in 90 days. Watch what happens. I did that, Bradley. You asked me about Bob as soon as we opened this call up. I still got it. This is my old notebook from 2015. So, still got my B list. B list. And what's the only thing underlined?
Training with Bob directly.
And that was before I ever even met him. And it shifted from just training with him, man, because this is a photo of me speaking on stage with him. So, it works. This led to this. This led to that. Watch what happens.
There's what I love about journaling and writing stuff down, like you just said, is I can go back and look at what I wrote 3 years ago, and I can think to myself, okay, I wrote about this that I was struggling with. Am I still dealing with that now? And that would show that I haven't made the progress I should have. But then I can also look back and say, okay, my life was like this. It was bad in this area. But look at me now. Look at the progress I've made. So, yeah, like you said, I think for so many of us, or for everybody, it's a very important habit to incorporate is to journal and write this stuff down, because it more solidifies the process and your mindset rather than just thinking about it, because your thoughts get lost. You think about something and you're like, oh, I want to do this, but then you go to sleep and you forget about it. You write it, you think about it, you write it down. It's so much more powerful.
Yep. I agree, bro. Well, hopefully this was helpful for you, man, and all your viewers. I wanted to jump on here and bring a lot of value and do it in a short period of time so that all your people can go rewatch this. And Bradley, I'm truly excited for you, bro. I'm truly proud of you being young, hustler, ambitious, doing this. It takes heart, man. Like, I remember when I first started like doing business when I was 18, I couldn't even do a FaceTime call, man. I was I was, you know,
Right.
hello. And the fact that you're taking initiative, how old are you, 19?
19, yes.
19, you're taking initiative. You're starting a podcast. You're not just starting a podcast because some people talk about who got shot. You're starting a podcast talking about how can we get better. And you're 19. If you look at the Lewis Howes, if you look at the Jay Shettys, if you look at all the great interviewers, I looked at Kevin Hart. He has his new podcast, Heart to Heart. That's the track you're on. Whoever's watching this, if Bradley sent you this, that's the track he's on when it comes to the podcast. Then on the side, now you got some side income. You got a side hustle we're working on. You got all these other ideas, and I'll do my part to be as big of a benefit as I can. And dude, I'm just extremely excited, man. Next podcast we got to do, your background needs to be the beach. My background to be Fiji or Mauritius or the Maldives. And, we'll have on the go Rolex with no t-shirt.
That's brutal.
Jay, sounds like
really
a plan, bro.
I really appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I told you from the jump, I said, listen, you start having more streams of income, then I'll do whatever I can to help build anything around what you're doing. Because I want you to take that serious, man, and start building that wealth. You're on that track. And you keep on this track. I can't do income claims and no disclaimers. But if you stay on this track, man, you'll be a millionaire before 25, guaranteed. Watch what happens.
I know your Instagram's in your name already. Where else can people check you out?
Instagram. I don't really use Facebook that much. You guys can add me on Facebook. I got 2 accounts, so make sure it's the one with me sitting with the microphone or something. And yeah, just follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. I'd love to hear your feedback. I do mindset calls as well, 3 days a week, 7:30 Eastern time. Bradley has the link, so it's Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So tomorrow for now. But if you're watching this on any other day, that you can connect on those and give more value. Those are Q&A calls for people to come with questions about business, mindset, personal growth, shifting their life. And yeah, I guess I'll just see you guys on the jet.
Incredible.
Catch you 30,000 feet up because I'm gonna be traveling a lot. So Bradley, again, I appreciate you, bro. Much love and respect, and I'll see you at the top. All right.
All right. We'll see you guys.